I am Torbeck Ashrock III, and welcome back to my adventures in Out of the Abyss. This is Session 7. In our previous session, we had left off where I was contemplating what to say to the gold dragon should I encounter it in my dreams, as it wanted its child back that was being held by the Duergar at their city of Gracklestog. And I was wondering how I would convince this gold dragon that its youngling needed to serve its time. As we woke, we set off in our battle chariot. We left the Zirkwood forest and entered an area covered in what could best be described as sheen and wetness. We were informed that our journey to Gracklestog would take 14 days on foot, and we decided that we would use the battle chariot to scout ahead for about an hour in front of our Society of Brilliance, as not everybody could fit in our battle wagon. And after we had scouted, we would come back to ensure their safety. I would be piloting the battle wagon, while as Mincat would be engineering and repairing the vehicle. Stool would be manning the light crossbow, and Varn would be manning the cannon. We had created a compartment where Glabagool could sit. The compartment had a trap door. In case someone was following us, we could release Glabagool, who could engulf them. This was a great plan of ours, and now finally we were manning our battle chariot. I spent much of the day teaching Shushar how to pilot the battle wagon. It seemed right, considering he had spent so much time teaching me how to pilot the watercraft. Mincat went exploring, and Varn took a lot of pleasure in practicing with the cannon. After some time, Mincat came back and informed us he had discovered a silvered dragon scale, a pair of earrings, and a silvered petrified mouse. If we could not sell them, at the very least, we could melt them down to get the silver that I could use to enhance our armor and weapons, and maybe even apply some silver to our cannonballs. Then we could launch silvered cannonballs. You can never go wrong with silvering your ammunition. As we continued on our journey, we spotted a boneyard where we felt that the undead were. Perhaps there was an Ublex. While we were investigating, we were ambushed by an Umber Hulk. Mincat was able to communicate with it, and its name was Ixilidion. Mincat brought Ixilidion to us. Turns out that Umber Hulks have psionic characteristics that can be harmful, so Ixilidion chose not to look us in the eyes. He was also hesitant to fight, and he burrows as a means of travel and can cover quite a distance. Eventually, we met Ixilidion again, but it turned out we did not remember him, as one of his psionic abilities causes those that he encounters not to remember them. Ixilidion, I believe, wants to be a friend. We decided that I would create a symbol of my god Moradin, the hammer and anvil, and give it to Ixilidion, so that when he would come, rather than not remembering him and getting our weapons ready, which he might interpret as an attack, that it would be best that he could show us the symbol. Anybody carrying such a symbol is a friend. Mincat decided to teach Ixilidion how to speak common. At night, we were visited by a gold dragon, who offered us 1/18 of its hoard to free his child. That is a staggering amount of valuables. But I could not agree to just snatch that child dragon, away from the Duergar when it had attacked the city. I explained this to the gold dragon, but he told us that it was not his child that attacked the city, but another dragon. And I asked him if he could find this other dragon, and in exchange, he could allow his child to be free. The gold dragon agreed and said that it would take a month to find this dragon. I offered to help, whereas my companions were too fearful. In return, the gold dragon asked for us to keep its child safe, which I said I could not promise, as there was no evidence that what he was saying was true about his child not having attacked the Duergar city. But if what he is saying is true, I do not see how the Duergars of Gragglestog will have an issue. I will say this gold dragon did appear to be telling the truth. I worked on Ixilidion's symbol. Varn kept firing cannon, and a stone giant got annoyed. His name was Cragmore. Cragmore had informed us, once he was introduced to our company and realized that we had very strange companions and he was more than welcome to join us, that he could be found at Gragglestog at the Cragmore Manor. He also informed us that he had met the Demogorgon that we had met before. And he had looked the Demogorgon in the eyes. My companions afterwards told me that this was impossible, and they did not believe Cragmore. Perhaps they are right. He did not come across, however, as being aggressive or hostile. I do not think that there's an issue with him telling tall tales. However, we will see if we meet him at Gragglestog. Again, we met this Umber Hulk. He informed us his name was Ixilidion, and we had been meeting him before. He gave us a speech about how I was preparing a symbol. It made sense. I did not understand what this symbol before me was and why I was working on it. It also made sense why Mincat was carrying a letter that explained the situation. So we chose to believe this Ixilidion, and I gave him my religious symbol. We engraved it with our signatures. And then Ixilidion went away. We do not remember this encounter. All I remember is continuing to teach Shushar how to pilot the battle wagon. We encountered a trading caravan, which had a gnome and an air genesee. Nearby, there was a sign that was written in Drow Undercommon, and they wanted our help into reading what it said, to which I agreed, and it said demons ahead. They also carried pencils, lead pencils to be exact, and for some reason, we knew we needed lead, but we could not remember why we needed lead. We chose to buy 150 lead pencils from the gnome and the air genesee. However, the price they sold us was very inflated. As a result of their dishonesty, we decided to do a trick of our own. I had an emerald, which was valued at 75 gold pieces, and asked Varn if he could deceive the gnome and air genesee into believing that the emerald was worth more. He came up with quite a story, and we had Glabagul and Mincat in fear of the emerald, and we convinced Gnome and the air genesee that an emerald that we possessed had special powers. rather than the 75 gold pieces is worth, they paid us 250, which served them right for deceiving us with the price of the lead pencils. We had sent Eric, Minkat's demon companion, ahead to observe what this demons ahead sign meant, and was there in fact demons ahead. He had spotted nothing but an obelix. Perhaps this sign was put there by the drow to keep people away. Perhaps they had their treasure beyond. We also met this Umberhulk, who had said that his name was Ixilidion and he had met us before, and that he had a holy symbol of my god Moradin with our signatures on it. He also told of a letter that Minkat had in his pocket that explained the situation. So we believed him, and it made sense why we had bought all this lead. It was to create a lead helmet for him, for the lead helmet would allow him not to affect us with his psionics. However, he would not be able to talk. The first part was to remove our ability to lose our memory when we came across Ixilidion. He could prove to be a valuable companion. So we gave him this lead helmet, and we pondered upon our next course of action, and now whether we are going to explore this area that says demons ahead. However, it is interesting that there was no battle, and I did not use the battle chariot, nor did I use my warhammer. Perhaps our journey to Gragglestog will have us practice the cannons and have my warhammer come down on those that mean us harm. Perhaps we will meet this drow again. Join me next time to see what happens in our adventure. Until then, take care, my friends.